love mathematics, you love mathematics, we love mathematics, day of mathematics, day of mathematics, day of mathematics, day of mathematics, mathematics. I love mathematics, you love.
Okay, so in this video, I actually want to talk about why the method of maximum likelihood prefer, to method of movement. Okay, we care about efficiency in statistics. We care about optimality. We care about flexibility. We care about consistency. We care about, the last side, the performance when the sample size is large. And we also care about what I call the interpretation. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with efficiency. Um, it is mathematically observed, and statistically proved, okay, that the maximum likelihood or yield estimators, that are asymptotically more efficient than using the method of movement. When I talk about asymptotically efficient, even though maybe initially the estimator may not be efficient, but when we take a sufficiently large sample, of course, it's actually going to be asymptotically, the maximum likelihood estimator would be asymptotically efficient, down their counterpart, the method of, movement. Okay, and when you talk about optimality, okay, under certain conditions, we expect the estimator that we derive using the method of maximum likelihood, to be asymptotically optimal. When I'm talking about asymptotical optimality, okay, this actually happened in the sense that they will achieve lowest possible variance among all consistent estimators. And how am I going to know that? How am I going to know that? Because there's a kind of a connection between um you know the maximum likelihood approach and the Cramer lower bound. Okay, and the maximum likelihood estimator has a tendency to attain our Cramer lower bound, and the Cramer lower bound actually provide the lowest possible variance. Okay, if you consider among in the class of unbiased estimators, or that are also consistent, of course, the maximum likelihood estimators actually going to be optimal because they attain a Cramer or lower bound. Okay, another reason is talking about flexibility. Okay, the method of maximum likelihood does not actually require what I call explicit specification of the distribution of the data. Unlike the MOM, if you want to use the method of movement, you actually need the probability distribution, need to be specified. You need to be able to understand some basic statistical property of the distribution, like the expectation of S, and at times the variance of S, depending on the numbers of parameters, that are involved. Okay, so the maximum likelihood only rely, and don't forget that, the method of movement rely on the movements of the distribution of the data. So the flexibility of the maximum likelihood allow you to be more applicable, okay, to most of the situations. Okay, even though I know if I want to figure out the maximum likelihood, the only thing I just need to do is to the moment I correctly specify the distribution, of course I don't need the statistical properties of the distribution, like the moment estimate, that we normally that is always the case, with the method of movement. And another one is talking about consistency. Okay, the MLE estimators are guaranteed, to converge to true values of a parameter as the sample size increases. Okay, and that very consistency properly provide what I'm actually going to call reassurance that the MLE estimator will eventually provide an accurate estimate with sufficient data. Okay, what about large sample size performance? We believe that the MLE, we tends to perform even even relatively okay with small sample sizes, and why the method of movement may require larger sample sizes to achieve comparable accuracy. Okay, I think this is one of the reasons why we actually normally refer to using the method of maximum likelihood compared to the method of movement. But you know what? I'm not trying to say the method of movement is not good. It's also good, but except that we got some conditions under which the method of maximum likelihood would be preferred. Okay, that is how we do it.